The world is in a massive transition. Are you prepared? Hi, I'm Reverend Tracy L, and I am here to help you navigate through these uncharted waters. Many experts told me it was not possible to repair, regenerate, and restore my body. I proved them all wrong. Isn't it time for you to reclaim what is rightfully yours? If your answer is yes, then I invite you to join me while I will help you embrace the new earth and unlock your unlimited potential. Let's connect every Tuesday, 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern, right here on the Tracy L Clark Show, as featured on Transformation Talk Radio. The old ways of connecting are done, so let's embrace together the new and unleash the superhuman within. It is another Tuesday. The weeks are flying by. Can we make September, October, November, December go away? How are we feeling, my Canadian friends? It's been a rough morning. But remember, everything happens for a reason. Today, we're going to have you submit your questions. It's easier for me to answer, shift, and get through them because we need to help more people. Tensions are high. We had a full moon, as you know, with the moon energy. The shift on the weekend, I was talking about our soul onto our Soul Sunday, feel the fear and do it anyways. And what you have to understand is with the Schumann resonance rising and the vibrations rising, there's a whole bunch of new knowledge coming into the bodies, the souls, and the spirit. So you are going to have memories and dreams and, body parts feel like they're moving around. It's part of this new shift that is happening. It's also to bring in some new energy that are going to bring out more of the truths, the things you're already seeing, where you're like, okay, I've had enough. I've had enough waiting. I want to get the show on. We're done living in this old world. So we were talking about that on Soul Sunday. And I know it can be tough. Our next Soul Sunday is October 31st. Please make sure you join us. I definitely wouldn't want to be going through these next 6 months alone. So in our community, you can join the free Telegram group and come and join us. We also have what emerged from our Soul Sunday group was a lot of questions. We were talking about feel the fear and do it anyways. A lot of the questions that we were fielding were around money and finances because people can feel there's a big shift. I was talking to my community about a great show, and I was just talking with our producer called Devils. I would highly recommend you watch it if you want to understand. I think it's on Prime. How the banking system works. It's excellent. You'll be addicted. But there were so many questions about it because what you can feel is we're moving from the old earth to the new earth. What does it look like? Because all these systems, there's an illusion that they're super locked in and we're not going to get out of it, right? And a lot of it will start to break over these coming weeks. And so what I've done is I've created this Saturday, 10 a.m. You can go to tracylclark.com. You can go to the Telegram group. You can go to the Facebook group. You can contact the office at contact@tracylclark.com and get the link. I'm doing a 2-hour, it's a financial into the new earth class to answer your questions, to shift, not advice, just sharing what I've noticed, and you can go talk to your advisors, do whatever, and feel what's empowered for you. Now, what I always say in our communities and why I do this show is I want you to be empowered. I could come and hold all your hands, but it's not going to empower you. You have to feel strong and confident. That's what we're going to talk about today. Stop proving yourselves and strong and confident about your decisions and why you make them and why you're standing up in that power versus allowing anyone else to tell you what to do because there's so much shaming. So that is happening. You will have a replay. So please come. I was not going to do this at all. I have other things right now I'm trying to accomplish on the weekend, but you know me, Spirit kept saying, you got to do it. I walked away probably 100 times. I'm like, okay, because we could see big stuff's happening. It's coming. So I want to make sure you're feeling strong going through this next transition. So what happens is, as things shift, the next areas to hit will be food supply and finances and stuff like that. So there's ways so you see them, you're prepped for them. You can't just see the good. You can't just swirl the light, say all good. A lot of people have been asking me, they're noticing some of their gurus and spiritual advisors are being outed in the media as pushing things that they should have nothing to do and push. Those are how you know they're compromised. That's how you know you want to delete and unfollow because a lot more of it's going to come out. The spiritual realm has been very infiltrated. That's those people that made it to the top very quickly. They were paid, most of them. So that's been very infiltrated. The banks are infiltrated, the governments, the institutions. You've heard me talk about this like a broken record. So be very strong in your power and your conviction. We also have at the end of October, our weekend event, which is only twice a year. Why am I really bringing this up? Because by then, who knows where we're going to be going through with all these truths. And my goal is to make sure you're feeling good, you're feeling strong. It's on Zoom, so you will have an unlimited replay, meaning you can watch it for the rest of your life. But we do soul seats. Soul seats are we pick people out of the audience and we work through major breakthroughs, and everything in that 2 days is channeled. So it's a lot of fun. I encourage you to come and join us because so much is shifting. Like we can't even keep up with the amount of information that's moving right now. It's huge. So before I talk about get into proving it, I want to do a little prayer blessing. If you haven't got my book, TLC 31 Days of Prayer, you can get it on Amazon. You can order it through the office if you're in North America. And I want to just tune in for you guys today. This is a prayer for truth. It's the one that I opened to today. No surprises. I said, which one? And right there. So if you do have it, it's on page 57. Our second prayer book will be launching probably early November. We are done. We are in production mode of it. So it's channeled very fast. It's a lot more intense than this one. There's a lot more of the body regeneration method combined. So how you use your words and talk into those prayers. So this was more of a lead up to get your energy moving and shifting. It's why we say them out loud. The next one will be doing more commanding. So the body will move greater, and the energy, as we were saying, the resonance, the frequencies are shifting so fast that your intuition is going to be recalibrating, and you're going to feel like, did I just dream that? Like, what's happening? Last night, I woke up twice. I swore I heard someone knocking on my door 2 times. And it was very tied to spirit and messages. And I get a lot of activity in my home anyways. So you're going to be getting more as well. Don't think you're not. Okay, prayer for truth. Dear God, and I say the God of your understanding, you can say whatever you want. No right, no wrong. Dear God, I connect to the earth by grounding myself into the earth. I am a child of God. I am a sovereign being, and I am a child of God. I command you to bring forth the true identity, the true forms, and break all the illusions of the dark souls that have walked the planet, controlling people in ways that they are not even aware, through all levels and layers to infinity and beyond. I send these souls back to you, God, for justice and unconditional love, for divine justice in only the way that you know how. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. And so it is. Little prayers go a long ways. Little prayers open up in a lot of ways. We really need to hold tight, hold steady, and hold your truth. So what am I going to say today? What did I want to talk about today with this full moon? I wrote this down. Stop proving yourself. What do I mean by that? In this world, now, if you're like me, I'm on social media, but I'm more on Telegram. I don't like social media. I think it's a incestuous place where people, and I can change my perspective. Yes, here's the thing. There are good things about it because I can connect with you guys, but it also gives way to people to censor, way to people to say things to you they wouldn't normally say. And as I watch more of this, I watch people trying to prove themselves. So people come on, and I get it too, like, prove your idea, prove why you think that. So I had it recently because I said the election's rigged. All elections around the world are rigged. Where I live, I don't care, but prove it, prove it. I don't need to prove anything to have a point of view and an understanding that I don't believe that any of these institutions, and I'm allowed to have this belief. You're allowed to have your belief. We do not have to agree to be good humans and love each other. And I do not have to prove anything, and you do not have to prove anything to anybody. Because here's what's wrong. When you start proving, a lot of people say, well, I want to prove because I want them to like me, or I have to prove to them that, I don't want them to think I'm a liar, and I don't want them to think I'm this and this. You're going in your head. Because when you get into having to prove, you're getting out of your integrity. You're getting out of your alignment to the God of your understanding. Science is based in proving, and it's always in the now moment. If you go through science, right, a bumblebee is not supposed to fly, according to science. No, but that's how they say they prove it. They want to prove something, right, through science. Now, I'm not saying all science isn't wrong. It gives us a gauge. But what they're missing is this greater sense, this greater things where miracles are deemed as one-offs. If you're living a life of health and vitality, then you know what? You're living in a world where you're being honest with yourself and in integrity with yourself. You do not have to prove to any of these people. You keep walking in your integrity. You keep walking in who you are. But that's what the enemy spirit does. That's what bullies do. Prove it, prove it, prove it. They will be in your face. Bullies, they're all bully energies. Rather than, that's an interesting point of view. Why do you feel that way? So I will tell you why I feel every election in the world is rigged. I don't care what country you live in. Because if that system worked for people with all the taxes and all the money they collected, I'm going to dumb it right down for me. There would be no poverty. There would be no lack whatsoever. There would be no dictatorship. There would be no control. There would be a union of people working together, and every country would be free to be who they are. That doesn't happen, because when you turn around, it's hand out. I want more. I want more. I want more. And you're just getting by, and you're just getting by, and you're just getting by. So I don't have to prove to anyone, because if the system wasn't corrupt and rigged, then we wouldn't be living in that. You wouldn't be living in forced mandates of anything in your life, anything. They would allow you to be free and say, be a good human, be a good human, love your neighbor. What do I need to prove? Nothing. I know for me, that is my truth. And that is my conviction I've had since I was a little kid. And I'm never going to change that until, can I say that system might be okay? When I see them do that. But until then, it is what it is for me. So other people feel that, oh, they do care about you because they've given you a bone. What, they give you a bone so you could eat a can of soup and live on a mattress? Like, or how about all the bones in all the countries where they're living on the street? So, you know, I love this analogy. And if you watch that show, Devils, you'll get what they use it. That's where I just heard it. So I love it. And I keep using it this week because it's brilliant. The banks and the governments together have 97 bones for 100 people. They throw them out there. 97 people get fed, 3 don't. Who cares? That's the carnage it takes. War's done the same way. You're just carnage in their wake. And this is why you don't have to prove to anybody. If anyone doesn't like a decision or a choice you've made, stop proving. You don't need to prove. The reason you start proving is because there's energy in you that wants to be accepted. There's somewhere in you that you were rejected and you weren't feeling like you were part of the crowd or part of the pack. And so that energy comes up and says, remember when you were ousted? Remember when you were a loser because you were a loner, right? Look at how many people have been bullied into thinking they're losers because they don't want to be in the popular crowd. So then it's like, well, I better prove that I'm worthy, and prove yourself by getting good marks, because then you can prove you're smart. Good marks doesn't mean you're smart. Most good people that have high educations, I'm sorry, I've met a lot of them. They're not very smart. They're great at memorizing, but they're not very smart. It doesn't equate to if you're smart or not. It has nothing to do with the other. So you're proving yourself to say that you can fit in a box. So let's thank the hand of God of removing those accumulation of energies. You've been wanting to prove yourself so you can fit in. Because when you're standing here, this is what's driving these mass amount of people around the world saying enough's enough, is they're done living in someone else's box, and they're done. And they're saying, we're taking back what is for humanity, because most humans are good. Unfortunately, the ones up the top are not good, but they're not even in their bodies anymore. So they've been kicked out. Their soul's like down to Timbuktu. You know, they're not even there. That's why when you look at people and their eyes are black, yeah, their eyes go super black because they've been kicked out. People say, that can't be true. That's crazy. Yeah, well, be crazy all day long, because the truth's coming out, and the truth's coming out, and the truth's coming out. So when you look at that energy, stop proving yourself. Stop trying to feel like you have to prove yourself. And when someone says, prove it, You know what I do? I walk away. They just want to pick a fight because what they're trying to do now is you've triggered them and they're trying to get you to respond. So people say, well, what do you do on social media? I don't respond. I can leave their comments up. They can yell and scream all day long, but I'm not going to respond because I know there's things I know through many people that I talk with all around the world that share what's going on with them that you wouldn't get in your local back door. And then not only that, all my own experiences and my own clients from being in the banking industry and being in industries before that and seeing people, meeting people, and how I went in to take a leap of faith. And all these experts were like, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. And I said, well, what you've been doing with me didn't work. I don't have to prove to you what I'm doing. I just know what you were doing didn't work for me. So I took this journey. I took this path. It worked for me. So I don't have to justify or prove to anyone why I know at my core that energy work works, that energy medicine works, that if I'm listening to my body and I'm in charge of my body and I'm not giving away my power to somebody that has a certain monkey suit on, that I'm in charge, because those people in the monkey suits aren't walking with you every day, talking with you and being with you. They have a certain point of view and they're allowed to have that, but you are allowed to have it too. And you are allowed to go into this unknown world. And for a lot of people, that's scary. And why is it scary? Or you might feel you have to prove yourself. Because when you're in this world of energy, you're trusting, you're knowing, you're believing, you're looking, you're becoming empowered. And now you're accountable and responsible for your life. Go figure. Go figure. You have to be accountable and responsible. People that want you to prove, people that need to see always the science is because they're terrified that they are going to have to be accountable and responsible for their lives. Met those people say, oh, my life is crap because you were in it. Oh, my life was crap because they made it crap. No, you made that choice. You made that choice to be in there. Now you've made a choice for something different. So there's the energy right there. When you're in charge, you're like, okay, I made that choice. I messed up. I got to make something different now. I have to get through this. I got to release. Why did I attract them? What's good about this I didn't get? What's good about this I haven't gotten today? Because it's time that you stop proving. You know, people right now, I'm so tired of hearing, well, proof is in the science. Well, what about all that science over there nobody's looking at? This was what the crossroads that I came to in my own health. When they were like, well, according to this science, your body isn't never going to repair. I'm like, well, according to that science, I'm going to leave that. And I'm going to go look at different ways that you are not willing to look at. That's what I did. And I went and looked at different ways and my body repaired. So you can take that way, live in the box, never move, or you can go and expand into this world of unlimited possibilities. And the world of unlimited possibilities will keep showing up. Why do you think the law of attraction doesn't work? Because everybody's still stuck in the, I will let this go when this happens. It doesn't work that way. The whole world of the old earth to the new earth, we're not getting to the new earth until we fully bring down the old earth. We're moving over. But all of this corruption has to go. And people are so afraid of realizing that they've been living in a bed of lies. I think somebody made a song like that. And I think it was Matchbox 20 or somebody. They wrote a song, you know, living in a bed of lies or something, bed of lies. But it's true. Lie after lie after lie. So they tell so many lies that you believe it's true. But when you become detached from that matrix and you move into a matrix, a field of your truth, you don't have to prove, you will stop justifying, and you will just stand there in your truth. You are the guru of you. You are the master of you. And when anybody tells you and points that they should be doing something else because they want you to, and where I live, they're famous for this. And I know in many countries, do as I say. Really, you think these people got elected because it wasn't rigged? Yeah, do what I say. You're not my parent. And this is what people are really, the energies are coming up for thousands of years. And the energies are coming up to be removed, to be clear, to be released, to be let go. Stop proving. Follow what you know. Take that breath inside. What is true for you? Because here's where very evolved, enlightened souls Well, listen to what's true for you, honor it, and you can still be in your truth. Know your truth can change. When you have a lot of information, it can change. A lot of people 2 years ago were super asleep, thinking that all these businesses cared about you. You know, I think Michael Jackson, there's another one, had it right. They don't care about us. Yeah, he had it right. He had it right. He was bang on. They don't care about us. And why do you think they wanted to remove him? Because he spoke truth and he stayed in his truth. And they tried to throw everything at him at the kitchen sink, but he stayed in, he didn't have to prove to anyone. He knew who he was and he knew the truth. And his music allowed that truth to continue to go and grow. So 2 years ago, a lot of people had their truth that they thought everybody cared about them. This little, oh, what a wonderful little world, because it hasn't really hit deep. Meanwhile, we got people in other countries that are being war torn and starving, but it doesn't affect you. So who cares? Yeah, that was a lot of the attitude. We're all connected. It affects you. So when the truth is here and they wake up, their truth changes. Wait a minute. I don't think I want that. Wait a minute. The truth changes for them. The soul and the spirit wakes up. They're like, I don't need to prove anything. I need to realize and learn what is right for you. Because there's a lot on both sides. Both sides, there's a lot of nonsense. But then they'll wake up and they'll move, and they move in the direction. So this is going to be the time a lot more truth has kind of come out for people, and the truth's going to change. And this isn't the time for you. If you guys are listening here, you're pretty awake. If you're in my community, you know you're very awake, right? So this isn't the time to say I told you so over the next couple of months, but this is a time to get strong with your community, strong with who you are and your convictions, and be willing to change them based on different information. Okay. But again, anything forced upon you is enemy spirit, evil spirit, demonic energy, whatever you want to call it. It's no right, no wrong. You call it what you want to. But when somebody forces something into you, on you, and says that, you know that is not coming of the light. So stop proving. Okay, there's my little rant today. And why? Because if you saw my YouTube video, I told a little story time. Maybe I should tell more story times, but go watch it if you haven't seen it. It's really a little story about the financial markets and what's to come. Not from an expert opinion, not from someone that has millions of financial degrees. I think they're all compromised too. Just from little old me who follows the energy and took a little look back in history and had some questions. So go check it out. You might like that little 7-minute story, and why you'll understand I've chosen to do this financial class this Saturday. Because if you're joining us for Body Regen or the weekend event, we'll be doing a lot in those classes around every part of life. So I'm going to just pick it up from there. So we're not going to do any 2-hour events. There's just too much going on. Okay, let's get to your questions and see what's going on here. All right, Artie. I've been at peace for some time now with world and personal happenings, since I'm not desperate or fearful. I don't know what's next for me and unsure of my desire. Everything seems easier. What should I do? Could you talk about ascension and awareness as it impacts the nervous system? I feel a bit untethered. Yeah. So you just keep moving into what feels right in the flow that you're doing. There's no issue there. If you were feeling restless or not peaceful, well, then you're going to, look at why are you feeling that rest? But what you also have to understand, guys, and I've said this in the Miraculous Academy, and I'll explain it a little bit here. We don't have as much time, but I will explain a little bit more. Your vagus nervous system, your central nervous system, your intrinsic nervous system is connected to millions of little points all over your body. So you look at them as acupuncture points. That's how I teach them in the body regeneration method. But I think there's 70, 80, I don't know how many thousands, if acupuncturists would know that. I don't know that. I just know that below them, I see millions, actually millions. They come. So if you look at everywhere you put an acupuncture needle, those ports are opening. So what it means is, as the soul and the spirit is remembering more, these centers all over your body are opening. all of those centers are connected right into your nerve system. So a lot of times I say to people, I'm going to pull back the nerve endings. You've got millions of these. And the more they open and the more they stay open, right, the more information you're getting, the more intuition you're getting, the more alignment you're getting. So what's happening is the bodies are ascending as this new information is coming in and it hits that vagus nerve system. You can feel that flight or flight. You can feel nervous. You can feel anxious. So it's important also, we just had a full moon. It's important that when the moons are shifting in the astrological events, you align yourself to that and allow that energy to pass, because you're going to feel probably through the whole winter during these times as everything is growing and shifting, you might feel a little bipolar. You might feel a little crazy some days. You're not. So basically, when you go, what's happened is you're moving up and you're coming in more to the new earth. You'll be more in observation mode. So you'll have these moments. But as your body, your soul, your spirit is remembering all this new information and knowledge, that will start to happen. So you're in the Miraculous Academy. You're going to get a whole video tomorrow about knowledge and what this is ascending. So yeah, I'll just give you that and I'll start to open it there and you'll pick the rest of it up tomorrow when you watch the video. Our Miraculous Academy, I'm with you 7 days a week, 5 days a week with videos and helping you shift and keeping you up to date of exactly what's going on in current energy. There's 600 plus videos of the past there you can wander through if you want. All right, Debbie, I feel like I'm on the brink of something. What is being held in my lower abdomen? Yeah, again, this is part of this shift of breaking through. So it's like you're ready to pop a balloon. So the lower abdomen looks like you're starting to clean out. So there's bacteria, there's old energies that were connected, very male patterning, looks like a lot of to men and male patterning, where you're letting go of the, how they say it, the residual of past frustrations. So remember, guys, the colon, the rectum, the anus, so you have an ascending and descending colon, they start to open up and the energy starts to flow through. So I'll reset that for you as well. And we'll release that and allow it to go. So sometimes when we do that, you can end up having a pretty good bowel movement. So just FYI, where you end up stinking a little bit, but that's how the body's communicating to you. Your body is communicating to you 24/7, 24/7. Griselle, thank you for everything. You're welcome. May I please have a blessing for an extension of taking another one of these? Yes, medicines dose. Yes. So we'll remove some of the interference energies with some extensions. Now, I saw today, and I'll post this for the Miraculous Academy because I always have to watch where I put it, but there is a lot of, I've been saying this for a long time. You can see there's a lot of deadlines between this force thing and mandates, a lot of deadlines coming up. And so it's actually, there's a reason the push is so high. When people are pushing something, there's something else going on behind the scenes. So let's see if we can get that extension, open that up, and we'll remove any accumulations. We can start to open the lymph ducts and the lymph nodes some more to remove the interference energies. And also we'll do another toxic pull as well. Thank you, God. I don't know if you guys know, well, maybe I don't know if I should say it here. There's many levels of this. I don't know how to say it, many levels. There's 4. Yeah, I've seen it energetically for a long time. I talk about it in my communities all the time. Mary Jane, I'm feeling very anxious as I've stood my ground and with my spirit work, I had to take a leave. That's okay. I'm looking for a positive outcome, like a transfer. Yeah, we can open that up. And the leave is good. Like I say to people right now, it's not a bad time to take a leave of absence or a medical leave if you can, because you're going to start to see big intense energies, especially like, so what you're seeing in Europe, what you're seeing in Australia, places like that, you're going to see it in North America. So it's happening. I know you got to go look up for it. It is happening in every city. It's going to get more intense. It's going to get bigger. So it's not a bad idea, because also too, you can see there's going to be great shortages of workers as well over the winter. So if you can take a reprieve now, it's not a bad idea, because more stuff will open up after winter for sure, because they'll need some workers, because there won't be a lot of workers around. Okay. Sherry, my husband finally wants to get his teeth fixed. He has to consult Monday and to start the process, taking money out of his retirement beforehand. I'm assuming it'll be around 40K. Yeah, don't you love dentists in North America? That's the same treatment. You can go to other countries for like literally $5,000. See, again, you're starting to see that there's, these are the cracks that are not working for us, right? So you look at what these institutions here are charging, and I know dental is off the charts because insurance pays for a lot of it, right? So um you can take that out if you have it out of the system. We can align for that. We can align for his teeth to get repaired, restore for the toxins, so going in and going out. And then we'll actually align for the financial adjustment that will come when you move the money out. But it's hard to say right now. When I look at the whole, this is why I'm doing this class on Saturday, because when you look at the whole picture of the financial structure, there's so many components that have already collapsed on the other side, which I'm not talking energetically. You can go look for them if you understand the bond markets or the repo markets, or like they're all just they're coming down, or so much there. So how do all the new structures come in as the old structures are leaving? So when it comes to taking out the money and redeploying it, we can adjust for it to be replenished in a new way, in a new way. Thank you, God. But there seems to be a lot of prep work energetically that needs to be done on the gums. So let me actually start to reset him for the gum. So his system is quite sensitive. So that goes to all of the freezing, the drilling, everything that needs to be done. Yeah, may we come to a world. There's a reason they took where I live. When I was a little girl, they had dental in all the schools. So you didn't like it when the nurse showed up, and it was your time for the cleaning. And it was free in all the schools, because what was very well known back then and is still well known, and I'll tell you why it's no longer like this, is because the teeth and the bacteria of your teeth is very connected to the organs and what's going on. So when you have multiple levels of different bacterias, they can prove, like a dentist can go and do a bacterial test and prove, if you're on that spectrum, where are you, of having heart problems or cholesterol or issues or diabetes and stuff like that. So they can tell by the bacteria. Every root of your tooth is energetically connected to an organ. So that's where the science is really good of showing you, but then you have to clean it out. You have to do the work, and then you have to start to understand, why do you have that energy going on in your body? So that's how we work together, right? That's how I always say integrative. It's not one or the other. It's called integrative. So they got rid of this program because they said it was expensive. No, they got rid of the program and they started only offering dental care to people in North America, because you can go to other countries. It's very inexpensive in North America because it's all connected to the money and the insurance. It's not connected to you. So they got rid of it. And they also know that the more deterioration that goes on in the mouth connected to the organs also means other health issues. Then you can follow the money. I would say follow the money. This is a web of lies that has to come out. So if you start to understand that, that's what happens. That's why they got rid of it when I was a little kid. And, oh, we just can't afford this. But you can still afford to send billions of dollars to your friends in another country so they can go and do things that are, unexcusable. So that's how that is. So we'll adjust that. Okay. There's my other little, you can tell this breaking, like I can feel it. We're coming to a point where you just want to, we're almost through the little bubble. We're almost through where this breaking is going to come. And people, I love how this one gentleman says, and you know who he is if you listen to me on my Telegram, but he says, they're going to be under their covers hiding, like, turn it off. I don't want to know any more about those people. Bring it on. Like I'm at the point where many of you I know are tired. You're tired of not being in your full sovereignty. It's okay. It's okay to feel that way. It's okay. Yeah, it's okay. All right, Melissa, how can I move from fear, anxiety out when it pops up? I do the reset tool and the breathing. Well, because it's also, you have to look at, that's a good simple tool, but you have to look at the vagus nervous system. You also have to align the system and the body to the astrological events and then the event that you're disconnecting from. So you can do the reset tool, but when you're doing the reset tool, you have to understand, what are you disconnecting from? What is creating the high anxiety? So for you, you go into high anxiety, you can see when you have uncertainty. And when you have uncertainty and you can't figure out the answers and it's not feeling like it's coming, the body goes into high anxiety. So we can start to adjust when you're going from something old to something new, and then you feel like a hamster wheel, like it's just turning and turning. Then the vagus nervous system is heightened, especially due to astrological events. And then you can have that space, you're like, why isn't this letting go? So those are the basic tools. And this is why I say, when you learn and go forward more, you can start to back out. So one of the things I would do, because I would like you guys to be empowered, is, what am I around that's creating the high anxiety? Is it the fear of and the uncertainty that's coming? Is it other people when they're talking in, negativity? Is I don't feel empowered in my life? I'm just giving you examples. You gotta sit with it and then reset, let go, collapse the energy, the accumulation of all of that together. Thank you, God. Reset, let go, reset, let go, reset, let go. And then we can move that through. Okay. Good. Okay. Kira. Okay. Oh, I'm 17 in my last year of high school. Welcome. Wow, you are just, I love the evolved children. I love them. What would be a good career direction for me? Oh, we love, okay, well, you're, okay. This is really interesting that's going on, because you're very aware. Ooh, hang on. I'm just going to open your field a bit. You're very aware. You're very connected. You're very different than a lot of people around you. And I'm going to say, because looking at this energy, you need to be in an area that's service, but also an area. So I want to say you need to go into the healing energies when I look at what you know to do and how to do it, energy healing, energy, like anything that's in the healing space. Some people, that's the new medical system that's going to come out. Some people, but you're very creative. You're also very artistic, and that can be bridged as well. I don't like pigeonholing people in careers when you see like this, because you are in that healing space. You're extremely connected. You're extremely intuitive. And I know that's a different world right now, because it's going to emerge. It's going to become quite prevalent over the next 3 to 5 years. So you're kind of at the cusp of learning. You also, there's a part of you that when you're done school that wants to just sort of take off and explore into the world here. And I would say, before you dive into, because universities are going to change, how we learn is going to change, you're kind of, the systems in you are not friends. You're not friends, which means you're very smart, you're very intelligent, you're very connected, but not in the old way. Like, you got 2% of you in this way that we're functioning right now. The rest of you is actually in this new way. So what your body's actually saying is, it wants a break. It wants to move around. It wants to explore. Usually when that energy comes up, what it's saying is, you want to go see the world. You want to go kind of travel a little bit. Don't get caught up into, okay, well, I need the money or I need this. You don't have to be traveling to the other side of the world. That's not what I'm saying. Sometimes traveling around and looking around is even in your back door. But there's this, because the world is shifting so much, we have to get through this next 6 months, this next little bit of time here. So what I'm going to do is, let's start to open this up a little bit stronger for you. You will do much better. More, you need to be in a place that's either freedom and flexibility. Again, I keep seeing this service healing area, like, and I don't want to say the medical space because it's changing, but it can change. So I'm not saying you can't go into service, but you also need to be in something where you have a lot of freedom, a lot of flexibility, and not where you're controlled. Like 9 to 5 won't work for you. 9 to 5 won't work for you. Not at all. Oh, your head's up. Ooh, you have a very strong team, actually, very strong. So we will open that up, because you will get a breakthrough. I'm not saying you can't change, but I can't, like, if I put you, say, at an accounting desk, well, let's hope accountants go away, because if we don't have taxation, we don't need to worry about that over time. But if I put you in that, it's like very heavy, it's very restrictive, it's very, tight. So we'll open you, because the more for you, you're so connected, that the more you actually follow what makes you happy. This is going to be key for you. If you do something because somebody told you to do it, versus you doing something makes you happy. If playing a ukulele on the street corner makes you happy, that's what you do. If you go against that, you're going to find there'll be a lot of frustrations and blocks. So we'll open that up and that space. So for you, you're giving. So your work has to involve with giving and receiving and serving. And you're young. You have like, you're probably going to change your vocation a couple of times for sure, for sure. But you have a strong line. And this I do like, to go quite high in your career very quickly. So probably before you're 30. And so that's really cool. So there can be a lot of doors opening before you even finish school. So don't rush into anything. If anything right now, and energy can change on a dime. That's why we're always checking in with the energy. But you can see your body will want to go have some fun, play free. So don't feel like you have to jump into something right away. If you feel the pressure, don't do it. If you're not feeling the pressure and you want to do it, go for it. And I'll line that up for you. Okay. Liam, your toes have been underdeveloped since I was born. Will I ever have normal toes in the future? Oh, you know what? I love what you said here. Breakthrough medical technologies. There actually seems like there could be some very good creative solutions. And this is what I like. See, this is the integration. There are really cool medical technologies that will be coming through. Now, one of the things you can do, and I know I have a child that has very kind of interesting feet too. That's all I'll say. She's always embarrassed telling us to, but what you can do is you can hold them with you and you can hold a toe or whatever and just have some fun with it while you're adjusting the energy, because it looks like you will have a solution, and just command the muscles, ligaments, tendons, joints, command that energy to grow. Command those toes to grow, to release, to let go. Now, people say that sounds crazy. We haven't even tapped into what your bodies can do. I have seen crazy stuff on my journey that most people would say you're a nut job, but it's happened. And I know many people in this world who have witnessed other crazy things. So never say never. Let's remove the accumulation that it has to be like this because you were born that way. And that if you want change, that you can have possibilities, thank you God, of change come into your life, into your world around your feet structure. So it's it does look like there is a chemical and a toxin we can move out that also affected that came into the body while you were being developed in womb. We see that a lot when mothers have been prescribed something or took something, or and your bodies weren't aligned, even though they say it's good for you, it's okay for you. And the bottom line is a lot of bodies can react. So that the adult body may not react, but the fetus will react. So much to learn. Yeah, thank you, God. So we'll reset that for you. Justina, I'm trying to get sponsorship for the upcoming sales marketing activity. Oh, we've already started to move that. I did get that message today. So that's already started to move. Yeah, so within about the next 6 weeks. So here's something that we want to open some more, and I'll just explain it here, is you guys need to understand that there's a lot of business upheaval that will happen between now and probably into November. There's going to be a lot of shifting and changing, and it's only happening because the monetary system is starting to go through a big shift. Let's hope they don't push it into next year. They could. It's looking very strong for literally, this fall. Like that would be a great time to do some reset, because then we know that the thing is, if they wait till next year, we're going to go through, we're prolonging what we're going through right now. If they go into some financial resets now and things can start to break now, then that means by spring, we could all be heading into a lot more change and prosperity and stuff like that. So that's very good. So we'll align that for you. And what we'll do is open for you to be willing to go the next step with the VC company. So you can actually have that energy and to just be open. So what you want to say is I'm open to receiving what they have and what they're looking for, and to being partners, because there's part of you, this is your baby, this company. And so there's a part of you that doesn't want to hand some of it off, even though there's another part of you that does. The part that doesn't is the stronger part. So I'll adjust that for you, and just be open. Just listen to what they have to say, welcome it through. So before the meeting, I'm open. I'm welcoming all you have to say. Thank you, God, reset, let go. I'm open. I'm welcoming all you have to say. Thank you, God, reset, let go. Okay. All right, Mary. Okay, asking for healing for my son to have more solid friendships, including romantic relationships. Those are hard right now, aren't they? He's more of an introvert. He's been affected by abandonment issues from his father and some other family members. Okay. Yeah. So there's not feeling safe with other people for sure. You can see that. There's also some other lifetime energy there where the family unit, like as you would see, like extended family. I keep seeing like these villages, you know how they're all close, even though they're not related, right? Little villages where everybody's very, very close. There was a very strong memory from another lifetime where you can see like that, but then things appear to have been wiped out. So just hold your son in your presence there for a minute. Thank you, God. And let's just open this up. And let's actually start to remove some of the root of the fear. There's a big fear around safety, where he's afraid if he's vulnerable with other people, especially romantic, he doesn't want to feel pain anymore. He's had enough. He doesn't want to feel any more heart pain or heartache or heartbreak, even though that's normal progression in life. We're going to lose a friend, we're going to feel pain around it. We're going to lose a lover, we're going to feel pain around it. But he's got this space of, I don't want to feel that, so I'm going to shelter from the world. So that accumulation of pain that's been riding in his heart, I will start to, because he's not asking for it, I can start to move it, and he can take more of the energy shift if and when he's willing. Okay. So I'm always respectful of someone else's space and journey, because as parents, we want the best for our kids, but we also have to understand as they become adults, we also have to let them make choices and trust that they are on their journey that is being divinely guided. So thank you, God. Okay, so let's open this up. There we go. So let's remove that. And we'll just give them a little bit of well, it's like, I call it like a little droplet. It's like watching little pink droplets of rain just come into the heart. And we'll just seed that nice. It's safe and it's okay. And it's part of learning and growing and coming into who we are. All right. So any further information for joining the group, the airline that you would like about? Now, it looks like you need to actually, we can highlight this again, but it looks like it's time for you to reach back out to them. But it looks like more like a phone call versus like paperwork, because also what's happening right now, guys, most people don't realize this. The entire world is restructuring on many corporate levels. So many corporations that say they have all this money and banks, that they don't have anything. Just like the governments, they don't have any money. They're all broke around the world. They're all broke. There's no money. Banks have no money. Nobody has any money, even though there's a ton of money, but it's been moved to not so good things. So companies, and a lot of companies are restructuring around to prepare for what's to come in the new space. So you also have to show up. So it looks like what we can do is a line, and I'd like you to make them, it's a phone call. I keep hearing you have to have a conversation with somebody. So I know sometimes they say just email, just find a way to have a conversation, and we can shift the energy, because then they can feel something different and we can get this moving forward a little bit faster for you. Okay. Thank you, God. Ooh, wow. I know we still have questions here, but we are getting to the top of our hour. We missed our break today. As always, we seem to miss our break. My poor producer, she has to sit there and listen to the whole hour. We don't get the break. I don't have anything for her to do till the end. She's wonderful. Okay, I want to just reiterate that before we have to go is, you must really trust in this process. I'm going to be here answering your questions every week. We are going to do a crystal show with Shivani again to bring some more joy and enlightenment. This is crunch time. We are landing on that beach. As I said, if we know who said that, someone we all like to watch. Again, I won't say the name here because I know it gets flagged, but like landing on the beach of Normandy. So we're almost landed, and it's go time. And that's really good. I think it's really good. And what do I mean by that is that you're going to have to stand very, very strong in your convictions, strong in your truth, strong in who you are. Thank you, God. Pull that in. I'm going to be very strong in my convictions, Strong in my truth. Start to remove this accumulation of energy of uncertainty, because we are walking in uncertainty all the time. This new that we're going to be unfolding, we've never been there. So the body only can reference the old. I was saying this with the Miraculous Academy. We've been doing all these exercises from the old earth to the new earth, because the body's only known this lifetime after lifetime. It can feel uncertain. It can feel plugged into all these old systems still, because this hasn't really, it's been created in the spirit realm. It's already done, right? Like the things you're asking for, they're already there. They're just waiting for you to catch up. So it's already done. But in the physical realm, we have to catch up. So if you're leaving a religious institution or a banking institution or government or a schooling or medical establishments, how they've all been tied together, they're all in one big ugly web. But as we're leaving that, what does this look like? Because these are going to be new systems, but in the physical realm. So in the energetic realm, you can pull that in. But in the physical realm, we still have to work through the dismantling of the old to the new. And in the new, you're not going to be proving, you're going to be doing. Less proving, more doing. So, and this is partly what can get your life stuck, where you say, I don't know what I want my next career to be. I don't know what, like, okay, you know, I totally, for someone like Kira, she's 17. Tell me if you at 17 were fully anchored in what you wanted to do when you're 50 years old. Like, I'm 50. I didn't know when I was 17. No, but different time, different space, right? I changed, I moved, I grew, I evolved, and I kept listening to my inner knowing. And many people would make fun of me and, Joe, what are you doing today? And where are you going today? And I'm like, none of this feels right. It wasn't until I landed into what I'm doing today that was like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. This is what I do every day. This is what I do 7 days a week. And I love it. So that's what you have to start to understand right now, is you're creating and moving forward. So when you look around and say, what in this world do I truthfully want to do? Then you want to start to move towards that. And it might change. So when I first started doing what I'm doing today, my dream was, oh, I want to see 30 people a week. That would be fun. Okay, I saw 30 people a week, booked 9 months out. It wasn't so fun anymore. I didn't have any form of life. I felt chained to my desk. I had beautiful people and I loved being able to help them, but everything else in my world suffered. And it suffered because I was like, okay, I've reached that. I love what I've learned, but now I want to help more people. So I love the radio show. I love writing. I love group work, because I can empower you versus you relying on me. This is why I love the academy. So you're empowered. Soul Sundays, you're empowered. Everything we do, you're empowered. If you walk away and then don't do anything, then you're not taking it. You're looking for somebody to lead you. But, and to, I mean, like lead you, like take your hand out, walk you to the post office. That's what I mean. You're not looking for someone to guide and say, okay, well, here's what you can be. Here's how you can be. Now go out and apply it. That's how you become empowered, because you're applying what you need to do next. And then you're like, oh, okay, that didn't feel so good. I think I'm going to go try this over here. It's like when people say, I don't know what joy is. I don't know what fun is. I don't know what it is. Well, you got to go try things, so you won't know, right? I didn't know I'd like paddleboarding so much until I paddleboarded. I used to love water skiing. I don't love it so much anymore, but I used to love it. You know, things like that. I love sitting on the water. I've loved it my whole life. I still love it. It brings me joy. I love playing in the ocean. Still love it. Still brings me joy. Now, I would like this whole garbage and nonsense to end very quickly, because I'd like to go back to the ocean, right? So those are the things, if you can understand and you can stop proving, start moving forward. And this is going to be uncertain, and it's going to ride your vagus nervous system high, and you're going to feel intense, and you're going to feel overwhelmed. And then you're going to feel places of high love. Yes, we're here. And the next day you might feel, oh my God, what just happened? Remember too, there's energies coming from the dark that are also pushing into your vagus nervous system with programming that want you to still be in fear. So remember that. All right, everybody, have a great week. Go check out the weekend. Oh, this class this Saturday, 10 a.m. TracyLClark.com, Telegram, contact the office, contact at TracyLClark.com. Get a copy of your prayer book if you haven't, so you have it nice. People say they keep this in their bag. It's simple, it's quick, it'll work for you. And come join the Telegram and all the weekend events, everything we have is there. And if you're in the free membership, I outline where to start with us, what you can do first, how you can come along. I will lay it out for you. And as you're feeling more comfortable, what would be next? So because we have a lot of things to help you grow and evolve. We can't keep doing the same thing over and over. We have to keep expanding. And when the energy changes, we change. So people that really want that every day, that's where you're in the miraculous or the evolutionary mastermind. I hope that makes sense to everybody. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for showing up, for being you, for being amazing. I will see you same time, same place next week, right here on Transformation Talk Radio. Have a great week, everybody.
Thank you for listening to the Tracy L Clark Show with me, Tracy L, where I teach you how to connect to the God consciousness so you can unlock your superpowers and connect at light speed and live your extraordinary life. Tune in every Tuesday at 8 a.m. Pacific on Transformation Talk Radio, where together we will unlock the secrets of your body and your life. As the founder of the Body Regeneration Academy, I, Tracy L, will provide you with the insight and simple tools you can apply right now in your life to move you forward and leave the past in the dust. To join the Body Regeneration TLC Online Academy, make sure you check me out at tracylclark.com.